What's going on? Welcome back to the Wildfires Podcast. I'm here with Jerry. Jerry, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing good. So we've already recorded with Gabe McKay, who is our guest for today. Had a little bit of an issue with the brand new stream deck. Still working on getting all this set up and worked out. Basically, first question that was cut off was about this upcoming season and how the new guys are going to fit in.
Wrong.
And here's his response.
My sophomore year, and I get to see my dad every day, my brother every day, and it's been one of life's greatest blessings.
So, yeah, we'll get right back into that interview with Gabe.
Let's do it.
That should be good.
All right, yeah. So funny you mentioned TNU. TNU is just right down the street from me right now. Actually, I'm right here on Lafayette Street myself.
Oh, big time.
So yep, I'm right here, right before you get to the roundabout in downtown.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, I know exactly where you are.
Yep. So it's cool. I see. I drive by there all the time. I know a lot of friends from there. My coworker, whose office I'm currently in, she recently started her master's degree through Tribeca. So
big time.
Yeah.
It's a great school.
Oh yeah,
really close to campus or really close to downtown.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Definitely a good draw. And then you have like Belmont right here, Tribeca,
exactly,
Lipscomb, and everything.
Nashville's great.
Oh yeah, I love it here. So going off a few questions I have here, I know you and I kind of spoke about this in person, and I thank you for having that conversation with me then. But I just kind of want to go over it again, just for listeners here, Duke as well. Just kind of want to see, first off, like, what are your biggest goals for this season?
Being a sixth year, first of all, I'm old, I know, but I want to win. I never got to go to the tournament, and coming to LU, that was the goal. Of course, they had been to 3 straight ones, excluding COVID, but it was just always my dream to go to the tournament. I've never been, and I've had so many other friends or teammates been to the tournament, and that's the goal right now. And I don't have it's not the end all be all. Life's bigger than basketball, of course, but it seems like that's the only thing that I want to accomplish this year. So if we can get there and then maybe win some games, I mean, that'd be icing on the cake.
I love that. I'll definitely be seeing you.
Sorry, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I'll definitely be seeing you guys again at MTSU in Western Kentucky again this year, and then in Huntsville again. I'll be down there again.
There you go.
So I'm excited for that.
Well, that was a perfect lead into my next question. I was going to ask you, what's it going to take to get to the tournament this year?
That's a good question. I think it's going to be I think we had some great additions, honestly. I think with the 4 new guys we have that are transferred in, they're all old, you know what I'm saying? So it's more like we have some experience from all over, guys who have been at the highest level to the Big Ten, and then guys who are All-Americans on the D2 level. I think it's just going to be the willingness to play together. It's kind of a quick jump in with 4 new guys and everyone wanting a certain type of role. I think it's going to be, how can we sacrifice our own goals and our needs and wants for the team. And then actually Kyle Rode was at our practice today, and he was talking about how it's going to be, you can still have your own individual goals. Oh, speaking of, Kyle Rode's calling me right now. You can have your own goals and like individual wants and needs, but it's going to be, how can you sacrifice that and still accomplish what you want with the team's goals? So it's going to be exciting for all of us. We get to play together and have a new team, and it's also going to take some challenges to get going. And I think we're doing that now as we start to build that relationship off the court. So it's been good, but I think it's going to take a lot. And I wish I knew the exact answer to that, but I guess we'll see this year, and hopefully we'll get there. And I can come back on and tell you what it took.
Perfect.
I love that. All right, so I guess going back to my questions, you spoke a little bit about the new guys coming in. I'll kind of segue into that. So we've got, off the top of my head, I can remember there's Mogmer, is it Innen? So that's how you say his
Yes.
last name.
His
And
name
then,
is
is it Talon? Is that how you say it?
Talon Peters. Yes, sir.
Talon.
Talon Peter.
And then I lost one. I had the fourth one, lost it. But anyway,
There's Josh Smith from Stetson,
right.
and then Owen Ikinu. I probably said that wrong, and he's from a JUCO. And then
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. We got a lot. There's a lot.
So, which of the new guys coming in, which one do you think is going to have the biggest impact this season?
This is probably going to sound like a cliche answer, but I really think every single one of them can have a big impact. Just from the quick little 3 weeks that we've gotten to be together, like each one of them can do something that I don't think has been in the program in a while. I think each one of them can come on to the court and affect it in a big way. And then with guys like Will Gibson and Brett Decker, like they're already picking up things that usually freshmen don't have. So it's like both of them and the new guys that we have, like it's hard, honestly. I wish I could say like, oh, this one person is going to do so much more than anyone. But in the same way, if we have new guys coming in, I've seen Zach Cleveland get better, Caden Matheny get better, and Colin Porter get better, and all these guys coming back to make a difference. And I think everyone's grown, and that's what makes us so good is that we have so many guys that can play at a high level. And so I'm excited to see how it all gels together. But right now, everything's good. In the summertime, there's no worries. There's 10 guys on the court at all times. So it's been good. But I really think those guys are going to make a big impact on our winning this year.
That's awesome. So I'm guessing you probably have the same similar answer to biggest returner, probably.
Here, I'll say this. Caillou has gotten so much better. And that is someone who has put in a lot of work. And to see him when he came in and he could barely speak English to now, I'm excited to see what Caillou can do. And I think he'll catch a couple people off guard.
I really love to hear that. I'm sorry, Duke kind of took a little extra time here. But I love to hear that, especially because, you have some naysayers or whatever that are always so concerned about how's this guy going to do? How's this guy going to do? And obviously people are worried of like, Caillou coming in, he's just this really tall dude. How is he going to translate? And I've seen that all over social media, and to hear you say that, it's really reassuring. I love to hear that.
I think he's going to catch a couple people off guard. He's a good player.
Cool.
I think, especially since that's been a big concern of a lot of Liberty fans, is just the size on the court is something that was pointed out as like a weak point from the last season. And, us Liberty fans have been treated domination year in and year out. And as soon as we get to a new conference, we're like ready to go and win a new title. And right off the bat, and when that doesn't happen, there's some panic that kind of sets in. So what does Gabe McKay have to say to the fans that are worried about the future of this team in Conference USA?
That's a good question. I'm going to say trust and believe. I think if you have a certain sense of belief, then I wouldn't be worried about the things what other people say about our size or we lack in this area. I think if you have a certain belief, you kind of just let go and have a little laissez-faire mentality to it. But I would say as bad as you guys want to win, so do we. So just know that and know we're doing everything we can to get a championship. We're all hungry for it. I promise you. No one on our team has felt like they've done anything yet. So we're excited and we're trying to get that championship too.
And sorry to butt in front of you here, Jerry, but
I already did to you.
Every single basketball team has their weakness, and it's just the way basketball comes down to is who can cover up that weakness the best. And I think our team, over the past however many years we've had Coach McKay, he's done an excellent job of highlighting the strong points of the team. That way the rather weaker parts of our team is not as exposed to the other team to exploit.
Is it 2015, I think, Gabe?
When he came in? 2014.
14.
April 1st, 2014. I remember because it was April Fool's. And I thought he was joking at first. He's like, yeah, we're going back to Liberty. And I was like, later that day, we drove up for the press conference.
Nice. I had just a random question for you. So I've seen you doing a lot of highlight dunks and warm-ups, and actually in that presentation photo there, you can see you're doing a little flashy dunk. And another guy who I see who's done a lot of flashy dunks is Darius McGee, who I got to talk to a few months ago. So I wanted to ask you, who would win in a dunk contest between the two of you?
Look, here's the thing. Everyone gets all wild about Darius's dunks because he's 5'9". So it's like some of the things he does is incredible. Don't get me wrong, but he's 5'9", so it's like, I've never seen Darius do off the alley windmill, but I'm actually gonna give it to Darius because it is impressive what he does. So I'm gonna give it to Darius. But shout out to our strength coach, Coach Hornet. I think even since then, I think our bodies have gotten stronger and we're all jumping higher. So dark horse, give me Zach Cleveland in a dunk contest.
Ooh.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I can see that. I can see that.
I've seen him throw down some.
He's
Exactly.
really athletic.
He's got some interesting ones in his bag. So I would like to see him in another dunk contest.
All right.
There was one game. I can't remember which one it was, but there was one game he had this monstrous dunk, and he just came down and he was just like, you could just tell he was.
One of my favorite things is when Zach Cleveland dunks, just because his reactions are always top notch.
They're amazing.
I know.
Jerry, I think I know the dunk you're talking about from, I think that was like 2 years ago, and I think I have a picture of that one, of him flexing underneath the basket at home.
He's done it several times. I'm pretty sure there was one this past season too that I was thinking of, but
There probably was.
Probably. I mean,
I wasn't on the court for the games this last year, so I didn't really get to soak in all those moments the way that I did in previous years. But he's had some highlight dunks for sure.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
So you mentioned Kyle Rote earlier. He was like one of the core leaders that I would say this team had, and you can see his leadership on and off the court. So now that he has graduated and he's gone, who's going to be the one to step up and be a leader and take on the leadership role?
Yeah, I think one good thing about the new transfer portal is we have old guys, guys who only have 1 year left but have been through college basketball. And I think so far it's already been prevalent that guys like Taylor Peter or Isaiah Enan are going to be guys who have a big vocal role for our team. And then you still have guys who now, Colin Porter is going into his junior year, and he's been on the court and had a point guard roles for already 2 years, which is a lot of experience. And then Zach Cleveland, who's played since he was a freshman. And then Bryson Spell, who's been here for 4 years, even though he redshirted his first year. Like, me and him, I've been here for 4 years now. It's just everybody has a role and everybody plays a piece in that. And we always say it's a thermostat. Like, we dictate the temperature. What we give is what we're going to get out of it. So it's just really a cool piece in that when Zach Cleveland's down, I'm going to pick him up. Or when I'm down, Colin Porter's going to pick me up. It's just these types of things that when it's quiet in the gym and you hear Bryson Spell or Taylor Peter start talking, or even Josh Smith, who's brand new to the program, like, it's just like a special thing to be around, number one. And I think it's going to be a big beneficial factor to us losing Kyle Rote and Shiloh Robinson, two guys who were big in the Liberty program for so long. So
let me just summarize here. So it's like the brotherhood of guys that you have together are all picking each other up. There's no like one central leader, kind of like what you saw with Xavier Gadlin playing for the football team, who is just always at the center of the group of guys, encouraging them. It's more everybody's got a role to play, and everybody's going to pick up off of each other when someone falls short and pick them back up.
I think we got a good group, and I think even now we see it that we're gonna rely heavily on each other, and now our strength coach, and we're gonna rely heavily on each other, and we're gonna try to do our best to lean on one another to lift each other up.
All right. Well, Jerry, do you have any more questions for him?
The only other one I had written down was kind of going over again. I know I asked you in person, but plans for next year. What you want to do after the season's over, or do you think God's calling you next chapter?
Yeah, I since I was little, I've been thrown into the coaching world, and I've been around basketball my entire life. So if I could GA somewhere or try to get into the coaching business, that'd be great. And I think I have a couple good connections, so I'm I would be excited to try to do that. And I love basketball, so if I could get into that somehow, some way, I'd probably do it.
It's awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, before we wrap up this session, I do have a little game for the two of you. So it's Random Flame of the Week is what it's called. So I have here a former or current Liberty basketball player, and I'm going to be giving you guys hints as to who this player could be. And I know for a fact that you guys are going to be aware of this player.
I was not ready for this for the record, Gabe.
I like
it, but I wasn't ready for it. So.
I did not give him any heads up, so there's no advantage. So he did not get to do any research.
Let's do it. Down.
So the way it works is you guys each get 3 guesses. If you get 3 wrong, then the other one wins. Or if you get the correct guess, then you will hear. Okay?
All right.
So let's get started here.
I'm going to lose.
This Random Flame of the Week played at the guard position. This Random Flame of the Week was born in West Virginia. This Random Flame of the Week played for 4 seasons at Liberty. This Random Flame of the Week is a former player. This Random Flame of the Week has played with Gabe McKay.
I should know it then. I'm going to guess one.
Okay.
Do I get a guess?
Yep, go ahead.
Caden Matheny was. Oh, no. You said 4 seasons. No, never mind. I changed the guess. I was too caught up on West Virginia.
My mind, you said guard, and obviously they're in both sports, but my immediate mind went to guard and football. So I was thinking football, and then
this is a basketball player.
Game. Well, that's wrong.
All right. This Random Flame of the Week averaged 7.3 points per game, 2.5 rebounds per game, and 2 assists per game.
See, if we had Ben Reynolds from my other podcast, Ben the Flames Football Podcast, he'd probably know this because he's all about stats.
This Random Flame of the Week wore the number 10.
I got it. You got it.
Please.
First of all, I'd like to set the record straight. I would have gotten it 8 times ago. He played with Luke, not me. Ooh. It was Elijah Cuffey. He was the year before I came in. Elijah Cuffey, I if you're watching this, I would have gotten it off the first answer. I think I should have known. West Virginia boy at heart.
My bad on that.
No, you're good. Cuff. Elijah
How am I going to know that if you got the wrong McKay?
I thought you were here for the 2020-2021 season.
I was the next year.
The next year. See, I should have known that because I was here for that year.
I'm 1-0 though. I'm 1-0 on the show.
You're 1-0. Yeah. So next time we have you on, I'll have a different guy, and you two will have to.
I'm ready. Make it challenging. Throw it back some years.
Oh, I will. I wanted to make this first one a little bit easier, just since I didn't give Jerry any prep time. Had to make it easier, so he had a chance.
I was trying to pull out some names. I went to like Antoine Burris. I was like, Man, let me try to think of
We're
somebody
going old school.
I remember.
Man, I love that you threw out that name out there. That brought back
There you
something.
go.
That
That's
was
what
like
I'm saying.
he was around like my
trying to
freshman
think.
year in 2012. So that's like
Yeah,
whoa.
even when Dad was at UVA, we were watching all the Liberty games. So I felt like I was logged in with Liberty for a while. And we actually had we went on an AIA trip to Jamaica, and we had Twan and Devon Marshall. He was on our team, so I was watching them. I was watching that whole team when they made their tournament run. So I'm pretty deep in the Liberty basketball.
I love that. Devon Marshall.
That's awesome.
Chad's always shouting him out.
Well, since I threw Jerry in on the spot, I should throw myself in on the spot in a way. If we played 1-on-1, who do you think would win between Jerry and I?
Great question. Honestly, I haven't seen either of your guys' jumpers. So it's like
You haven't seen me shooting jumpers during halftime or pregame?
no, we're in the back. Every time you're out there, I feel like we're in the back. I'm gonna
That's
go.
true.
I'm actually not. I don't know who. I would need to see a couple of things. I need to see 3 shots from each of you before I make a valid answer.
Well, for the record, I'm horrible at one-on-ones. I can't drive very well. I usually just post up on the corners and shoot threes.
Hey, I
Corners-
like that role though.
I was
I like
thinking.
So one-on-one,
Hey.
you probably got me. So
it.
Every great basketball team has had a corner specialist. I mean, even
Everyone.
the Celtics had one. They just won the championship. So,
yes, sir.
Exactly. There you go.
all right. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. Hope we can have you on again sometime soon before the season starts. And yeah, it was great having you on. Good luck this season.
Thank you guys for having me. I'd love to be back anytime. You guys are big time, and I love keeping up with y'all.
All right. Well, thanks, Gabe.
One more thing. I just want to shout this out. Love the hat.
Thank you. Yeah, go get your county smoke. Go get it. It's the
Yeah.
best barbecue in the east side.
End of August, when I'm back in town for week 1 of football, I'm going there first thing.
Come on, hit me
Not
up. I'll go
sponsored,
with you.
but they should be.
Sounds
We
good.
would gratefully accept a sponsor from County Smoke if we could get
Yes.
We should,
Yes.
we should get Ken on. Seriously.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
He would do it. I know he would.
Thank
All
you
right.
guuse so much.
Thank you.
See you later. Oh, I cut him off. My bad. All right. Well, Jerry, that's gonna be it for this podcast today. You got anything else you want to add to it?
I think it was a good podcast. I don't have a whole lot else to add. I'm excited for the next one. See who we can get on here next.
Yeah. Well, we do have. I'll leak this one out there. We do have Bella Smuda lined up for later in the year. So sometime in July, be on the lookout for Bella to come on here. One of the best Liberty bigs for women's basketball that I've seen. Had a breakout year last year. Just sent back hundreds of shots, it felt like. Every single time someone tried to take a layup on her, it was getting sent back to the seats. So excited to have her on. And until then, you guys have a great night. And we'll see you next time.
Go Flames.
Fan of Flames.